Okay, so sit yourself on your left, and just come into the cross-legged position. And I found my glasses at last. I've been downstairs for a couple of days. So just sit yourself on your left, just have a little wriggle about, and then just hold onto your knees, lift, and open the chest. Morning, Ruth. Lift and open the chest. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Spend a few moments just listening to the sound of your breath. Take some sharp inhalations, some sharp exhalations, just to bring some energy into the brain. And then normal breathing. Bring your hands into Namaste. Press your palms together. Lengthen from the armpits into the elbows. And then close your eyes. So draw your attention into your breath. Listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. Feeling the body as it accommodates the breath. Gently draw your chin down to your chest with an out breath. Spend a moment to consciously generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open. Just hold on to your knees and just take some deep inhalations, deep exhalation. Look at the floor, look at something that doesn't move. Spend a moment to acknowledge your hind ear hearing, to activate the hearing behind you. And the fore-ear hearing, the hearing in front of you, maintaining that hind ear hearing, focusing your ears to the hearing in front of you. So you activate the hind ear and the fore-ear hearing, and then the lower ear hearing. And then observe that you look through the center of the eye without moving the eyeball in the socket, or the eyeballs in the socket. Incorporate your lower eye hearing, lower eye vision, sorry, not hearing. Just acknowledge and activate the lower eye hearing, lower eye vision. I want to say hearing for some reason. And then the upper eye vision. And then the outer eye vision. Drawing your ocular awareness all the way to the temples by the ears. So we activate the senses. Just focus on the breath, lift and open the chest, drive your spine upwards and then turn to the right side, maintaining the broader eye vision and your broader hearing, especially the lower hearing. Because the lower hearing becomes your ability to observe the body. Come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift and open the chest, maintaining that more intensified sensory observation. Then come around to the left. And then come back to the center. Stretch your legs out, grab a belt hand if you've got one handy, and then throw the belt around your feet. Have your feet hip width apart to start off with, just to give you more space. If you feel like the backs of your thighs are kind of trapped on the lift, then just free them. Just shuffle off the lift a little bit so that the backs of the thighs are free. Have the feet hip width apart and push your feet into the belt. Pull the belt towards you. Just consider that bimetallic strip action that we were talking about yesterday. So the front chest expands more than the back chest. The front chest becomes long. So see if you can lift the front chest, the back chest drawing down. Imagine the river flowing from the belly button up to the chest, up to the shoulders, and then rolling down the shoulders like a waterfall. So there's a lift of the back chest, a descending action of the back chest. Just breathe in evenly and deeply. Lengthen the heels away from the hips. Press the shins into the floor. Just maintain your inner eye vision so you can see the body that the eyes can't see. You use the lower ear hearing and the lower eye vision to develop a vision of the body in 3 dimensions. An awareness, a consciousness of the body in 3 dimensions. Shoulders down away from your ears. Lifting the front chest. And then if you can, just come forwards a little. If you're protected your back, then stay just at that first stage. But as you come forwards, notice that the front chest naturally wants to shrink. So lift the front chest, draw the back chest down. Come forwards. Each time you come forwards, readdress that bimetallic strip action, making the front chest longer. Activating the legs like they're in Tadasana. If you can find your feet, then find your feet. But each time you come forwards, there's more risk that you're going to round your back. You're going to convex your back. Can you concave your back by activating the front chest, driving the front chest upwards? Breathe in evenly and deeply, listening to the sound of the breath. Maybe bend your elbows out to the side. See if you can draw your body in, but keep the front chest lifted. Keep the front chest longer than the back chest. And then come back to center. Just sit back on your heels and come into Adho Mukha Virasana. But Adho Mukha Virasana with that front chest extension. So the front chest remains longer than the back chest as you come forward, sitting on your heels, knees apart, big toes together. Come forwards, maintaining that action of lifting the front chest. Breathing evenly and deeply, stretching with determination and focus. And then finally bring the forehead down, but not at the expense of dropping the chest. Breathe evenly, deeply, maintaining firmly that connection between the seat bones and the heels. So listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. So lift your head, but keep your hands where they are, and then thread your left arm underneath the right arm, and then bring your left shoulder down onto the floor, bring your head down onto the floor. So the left arm is pointing up towards the palm is pointing up towards the ceiling. So press that left arm into the floor, extend into the right arm, and then try and turn the chest a little to face the floor a little more. So it's threading the needle. So just opening up those shoulder blade regions. Breathe in evenly and deeply. And then stretch your arms forwards. Just come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. And then thread the right arm underneath the left armpit. Palm of the hand facing up towards the ceiling. Bring the right shoulder and your head down onto the floor. Even if you lose contact between the seat bones and the heels, try and maintain that contact. Keep lengthening into the left arm. And then spread the palm of that right hand facing up onto the ceiling. Try and roll the chest down to face the floor a little, so you really open up in the armpit chest. and then release and come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. Just spend a moment to observe the physical body. Try and feel the body in 3 dimensions so you can see the body in 3 dimensions. Bring your hands as wide apart as the mat, come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come up into dog down. Just spend some time just acclimatize into the pose, activating your legs, maintaining the activation of the senses, activating the legs, the chest, maintaining that lift of the chest and the descending action of the back chest, activating the arms and the palms and the fingers. Keep your hands where they are, keep your feet where they are, and then swing your hips forwards into Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog with the head up, keeping the feet away from the floor, keeping the, well, not the feet away from the floor, that's impossible, keeping the legs away from the floor, keeping the legs straight, lifting and opening the chest, broadening at the abdomen, turning the crease of the elbows to face the front. And then up into dog down. So the hands are as wide apart as the mat, the feet are as wide apart as the mat, just to give us space. And then swing the hips forward, come up into dog up. You can go onto the tops of the feet, but keep the shins off the floor, keep the kneecaps off the floor, keep the thighs off the floor, lift the chest, broaden the abdomen. Then the toes back under, and then come back up into dog down. Feel how we begin to activate our energy. Step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position, try not to bang your head on the way up like I've just done. Get some blocks for your hands for half Uttanasana. So half Uttanasana, we could just go straight into Uttanasana, but half Uttanasana just gives us more awareness of our legs. So lift and open the chest, drive your spine upwards, and then hinge at the hips, drive the chin and the chest forwards. Keeping the front chest longer than the back chest. Just come up and down a few times. So in Tadasana, bimetallicize that front chest so that the front chest lengthens up and the back chest descends. And then come forwards, hinging at the hips, keeping that front chest long. If you just let the front chest shrink and feel how the back chest lengthens, and then just come back up one more time. So this time we're going to raise our arms. But often when we come into Urdhva Hastasana, there's a temptation to raise your shoulders up towards your ears. So this action of lift in the front chest and descending of the back chest, that helps to draw the shoulders down away from your ears. So lift the front chest, draw the back chest down. hinge at the hips, maintaining that length of the front chest. And then reach down. Find the blocks, have the blocks underneath your shoulders, beyond fingertips. Lift the legs, lift the seat bones. Maintain the length of the front chest. Breathe in evenly, activating your legs. If you can, come down a little lower. Just coming down incrementally until you reach the floor, if you can reach the floor. If you're protecting your back, stay on your lift. Drive the legs upwards. So the inner legs have to lift, as well as the outer legs. So lift from the inner heel into the inner ankle bone, from the inner ankle bone up into the inner knee, from the inner knee up into the groin. Keep projecting the chest forwards, lengthening the front chest, descending the back chest. If you can, bend your elbows out to the side, maintaining that length of the front chest. Hold onto your heels and then try and press the heels down, but lift them up with the hands at the same time. Maintain that length of the front chest, the descending action of the back chest. Breathe evenly and deeply, listening to the sound of the breath. Drawing the body through the legs. And then release your hands back down onto the floor. Come back into half uttanasana, where the legs are straight, the chest is extending forwards. And then just walk your hands back to the front end of your mat. Have your hands shoulder width apart this time. Step the feet back a little. Have the feet hip width apart. And then come back into dog down. Feel your evenness. Feel how the body perhaps feels warmer and more energized and more conscious. Maintaining that lift of the front chest, the descending back chest. Keep your hands where they are, swing your hips forwards, coming to dog up. Broadening at the abdomen. Breathing evenly and deeply. And then come back up into dog down. And then come down onto your knees, sit back on your heels, and then just sit up. Coming to cross legs, and we can do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing, annulum, vilom, pranayama. So if you remember with alternate nostril breathing, you inhale and then you close the nostril that you've inhaled through, and then you exhale through the other nostril, and then you inhale through that same nostril, and then you exhale through the other. So you always inhale through one nostril, then close that nostril, and then you exhale through that nostril, that other nostril, and then inhale again, and then you swap around. So you breathe, so just breathe normally, and with your thumb and your index finger, you're just gonna kind of close off. So do it with your right hand, close off the nostril of the right side with your thumb, the left nostril with your index finger. So you can just balance your hand on your face with your with your ring finger. So just spend a few moments with normal breathing to start off with. Just conscious, normal breathing. And we're going to do quite forceful inhalations, forceful exhalations. So we're going to start with an inhalation. So we're going to cover the right nostril and inhale through the left nostril, and then cover the left nostril and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right and then swap over. So just normal breathing, a normal inhalation, a normal exhalation, and then cover the right nostril and then breathe in through the left nostril. Cover the left nostril, let the right nostril go, and exhale and inhale through the right. Swap and exhale and inhale through the left. And then continue in that pattern, exhaling, inhaling on opposite nostrils. Breathe deeply. And complete the cycle with an exhalation and then release. Inhalations, normal exhalations. So it brings energy to the brain. So maybe you feel that like there's more energy flowing through the body. Bring a block to either side of your hips. And then we're going to do sukhasana. So the grip around the front of the knee, bring the elbow down onto your knee, and then just bring your right hand onto your hip. Sorry, your left hand onto your hip, and then turn your chest. So you're holding onto your knee with your right hand, and then lifting and turning the chest up to face the ceiling. Try and keep that left seat bone down onto the floor, so it will inevitably come lighter. Lengthen from the armpit down into that right hip. Sorry, into that left hip. I'm getting my lefts and rights wrong. And then lift up into the arm and reach over, feeling that extension of the left side, but keep the left seat bone really firmly planting downwards. Breathe evenly, softly, and deeply. And then come back to the center. Just hold onto your knees. Just observe the difference in the two sides. So maybe your left side feels really long and light, and the right side feels a little short and heavy. So release. So reach around underneath the knee with the left arm. Bring your elbow onto the block. You can go all the way to the floor if you want to, but try and keep this right seat bone down onto the floor, lengthening from the armpit to the hip. Turn the chest to face the ceiling, really open the chest, holding onto the knee. So you've got some kind of leverage. Reach up and over, and just enjoy that real freeing stretch. So it's a kind of baddhakonasana stretch, isn't it? It's difficult to activate that side stretch. So just stamp the right seat bone down and then extend into the fingers. Keep your arms straight if you can. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift and open the chest. Just observe that perhaps the two sides of the body feel more even. Breathe evenly and deeply. If you've got any problems with your back, then just stay at this stage. Otherwise, otherwise we can come forwards. Everyone lift the front chest like the front chest is longer than the back chest. Descend the back chest, and then start to come forwards. But as you come forwards, maintain at all times that length of the front chest. Driving the front chest forwards, driving the chin forwards. Reach forwards with your hands, and then try to keep that front chest long as you come forward. Maintaining that ability to see the body, even though the eyes can't see the body. So feel the body through the lower ear hearing, through the lower eye vision that is so low that it's actually beyond your vision. Maintain the sense of feeling. Lift and open the chest. We're not trying to bring the head down. We're trying to keep the head up. We're trying to keep the front chest longer than the back chest. And then come back to the center. Bring the feet into baddhakonasana. So hold onto the toes and lift and open the chest. Feel that you can push the heels together to open these inner groins into the inner knees. Lift and open the chest. Keep the front chest as long as you can. Make the back chest descend. And then again, if you've got a problem with the back, just stay at this stage. Otherwise, come forwards, holding onto your big toes, but keeping the front chest lifted so that you feel that opening action in the hips. Lifting the front chest, driving the chin and the chest forwards. Maintaining the breath, seeing the body, even though the eyes can't see the body. Feel the body in 3 dimensions. And then you can release the feet and come forward. Stretch the arms forwards. Breathe in evenly and deeply, lengthening the inner groins into the inner knee, lengthening the inner knee around to the outer knee, lengthening the outer knees into the outer hips, into the outer thighs. And then gently come back to the center. Just hold onto your knee and lift your chest, drive your chest upwards. Keep the front chest long and the back chest descending. Lifting the front chest, descending the back chest. Breathing evenly and deeply. And then bring the hips in, bring the knees in, and then stretch your legs out in front. Just sit directly on the floor, have your feet together if you can, and then just roll over, move the buttock flesh out to the side so that you're sitting evenly on your seat bones. Lift and open the chest, drive the spine forwards. And then get hold of the back of the left knee and then bring the left knee out to the side. Try not to disturb the hips as you bring that foot in. So it's like you're doing tree pose. If this knee is kind of hovering in the air, and the kind of calf isn't on the floor, then just support that knee with a block. So put a block under the knee just to support that knee if necessary. Just get hold of your belt for a moment and throw the belt around the foot and extend into that right leg. And then turn the chest towards the right leg. Ascend the front chest. Descend the back chest. Squeeze the bent leg buttock bone forwards towards the bent leg foot. Breathe evenly and deeply. Push the foot into the belt into the foot. Now, if you know that you can't reach your foot, stay with the belt and then just keep edging yourself towards the foot a little bit at a time. Lifting the front chest all the time, lifting the front chest, descending the back chest. In fact, let's all just go into it on this side with the belt. So just lift the front chest, work to really lift that front chest and consciously descend the back chest, especially the shoulder blade region. If you can reach the foot, then hold on around the foot. Bring the thumbs around with the fingers rather than pressing the thumbs on the top of the foot. Lift the chest. Descend the back chest. So as soon as you start to come forwards, there's the feeling that you want to push the shoulder blades out. So try and descend the shoulder blade region. If you can reach around the foot, then reach around the foot. Lifting the chest. Ascending the front chest. So lifting the front chest, descending the back chest. And then if you can come down, start to come forward and down, lengthening evenly from both sides of the body. Breathing evenly and deeply. Maintaining the action of the right leg, maintaining the action of the chest. And then lift your head. And then lift the knee, the bent knee, and then stretch that bent knee out in front. And then just stabilize the seat bones and then come into Dandasana. So coming out of a forward bend is often a real quietening. There's a real quietening action that comes with the forward bend. Tadasana your legs, draw the thighs inwards, draw the shins inwards. So the backs of the thighs broaden outwards, the backs of the calves broaden outwards, lift and open the chest. So get hold of the back of the right knee and then pull the foot in like you're going to do virasana, but try not to disturb the hips. And then bring the hands to the side. So remember, you can support that knee, the head of the knee with the block if you need to. Lift and open the chest, turn the chest to face the right side, the left leg. So you can use the belt, but if you know that you can reach your feet, just come up into Urdhva Hastasana action. So the front chest lifts and the back chest descends. So feel that the back chest draws your shoulders down away from your ears. Extend into the inner groin of the straight leg. Turning the chest and then maintaining that lift of the chest, maintaining the descending action of the chest, come forwards. So it's harder when you don't have the belt, isn't it? So keep that front chest lifted the back, chest descending, and then find your foot if you can. So smile. Well, that looks like more like a weeping action. That's fine. Well, it's not fine, but yeah. So just push into the inner heel, lift up with the front chest, descend the back chest, and then start to come forwards, but ascend in the front chest. So it feels different when we don't have the belt, doesn't it? Maybe it even feels a little bit harder to come forwards with the chest lifted, doesn't it? So just observe that. Reach around your foot if you can. Push the foot into the hands, push the hands into the feet. Lift that front chest, maintain the lift of the front chest. Bending your elbows out to the sides. And then finally, bringing the head down. Janu sukhasana. Try and get the chin on the floor rather than just the forehead. Not on the floor, on the leg. Keep that left leg activated. Okay, and then lift the head. Come back to the center, just stretch both legs out. And then bring both legs into swastikasana, just into cross legs. And then lift and open the chest. Just breathing evenly. So we can do a little bit of brahmari just to keep that feeling of energetic activation flowing. So remember, brahmari is the hummed exhalation, normal inhalation. It's just normal inhalations, normal exhalations for a few moments. You can close your eyes if you want to. Take a normal inhalation, a normal exhalation, another normal inhalation, and then we'll hum until the lungs are empty. Then normal in breaths. You're working with your own lung capacity. And bring the breath back to a normal rhythm. Feeling continued resonance in the chest, in the head. And then open your eyes. Just come down onto your front, and we're just going to do bhujangasana, the cobra pose. So come onto your front, with your hands underneath your shoulders, lengthen into the toes. Push your hands into the floor, keep the hips down, activating legs, pushing into the toes, lifting the kneecaps, lifting the thighs, and then come up, keeping the pelvis down. The arms don't necessarily straighten, keeping the shoulders down away from your ears, lifting the chest, extending up into the neck, if there's into the chin, if there's no neck problems. Breathe evenly, softly. And then gently come down. Just rest your head on one side, rest your arms on the floor. Just to activate your energy. Back bends are really good for doing this. And then bring your arms back underneath your shoulders. So your hands underneath your shoulders, palms, the fingertips underneath underneath the tops of the shoulders. Lengthen into the legs, into the toes, press the tops of the feet into the floor, tighten the kneecaps, turn the thighs like you're doing Tadasana. The fronts of the thighs turn inwards, the backs of the thighs turn outwards. Keep the pelvis down and then lift up into bhujangasana, lifting up into the chest, shoulders down away from your ears. And then come down. Rest your head on the other side, just flop into the floor with your arms at the sides of the body. Releasing into the floor. Then sit yourself back on your heels and stretch forwards into Adho Mukha virasana, just to refresh your back. So in Bhujangasana, the cobra pose, there's that feeling that the more you lift your chest, the more you descend the back chest, the more energy you lift out of that pose. Sit back on your heels. Just come back into just cross legs or half padmasana. Just hold onto your knees, lift and open your chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees. Elevate the spine upwards. Drive the spine up towards. And then come around to the left side. And then come back to the center. Just come down onto your back. Just come into supta baddhakonasana briefly. Just to give your back a good straight line. Just to reset itself, lifting the front chest still, descending the back chest. Breathing evenly and deeply. And then draw your knees together. Get your blanket from underneath your head. Move your equipment out of the way a little if you can, just so you can stretch out. Make sure you're in a really good straight line along the center of the mat. And then just remove your glasses if you're wearing them. And then allow yourself to release into the floor. Spend a little time just allowing the body to become heavy. Breathing evenly and deeply, listening to the sound of the breath. Just let the muscles of the arms and the legs completely let go, unhooking those muscles, so that the physical body becomes heavy and you observe your energetic body rise into the uppermost skin. Just distribute that feeling of lightness and energeticness evenly throughout the body, through to the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers to the top of the head, using the breath to move the energy around. Just basking in that glow of positive energy. When you're ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, just bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana, and then bend your knees, draw your knees in towards your chest. So have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle grounding massage on the spine. Maybe even reaching for the feet, doing happy baby for a moment, just really letting the hips open and the lower back stretch into the floor. And then gently roll onto your right side. Just rest down for a moment or two. And then stretch the right leg out, or the top leg out, come up into a seated position. And then come back into cross legs with the hands in the masti, just a final spinal lift. Drawing the breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Drawing the breath into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you released through your practice. That good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy, that the extensions, the forward bends, the twists, the back bends, the reclining poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to seek to acknowledge the positive energy that you've created inside. And send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. As you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've just lifted your energy a little. So we didn't do any standing poses, but all floor work. But sometimes that's good for just releasing your energy. So thank you for joining me.